What happened to non-binary people? And more specifically, what happened to they, them pronouns? The first use of they as a singular pronoun referring to one singular entity dates all the way back to 1375. Since then, there have been tons of examples of people throughout history who don't fit into a gender binary and are seen and accepted that way in various cultures, specifically and especially non-Western culture. But it wasn't until 2016 that Elisa Ray Shoup became the first person in the United States to obtain legal recognition of her formerly non-binary gender identity. Call me crazy, but in the years following this, it felt like there was a surge of people who were seeing and accepting and then trying they in a series of pronouns or they them pronouns entirely. Especially in 2020 and the years after, when all of us were spending much more time in isolation and having to confront our own feelings, whether they were about gender or otherwise. I saw, at least in my circles, tons of people trying they in a series of pronouns, trying they them pronouns, trying all pronouns, even a couple of folks rocking with neo pronouns. I loved it. I was one of these people. As the world has adjusted to the hellscape that is 2026, I have seen tons and tons of people relinquish their non-binary identities and less people coming out as non-binary or genderqueer or gender questioning. This is not at anybody in specific here, especially if I know you and this is true to your journey. I'm so happy to see all of my friends thriving in the truest versions of themselves that they are today. Everyone's journey is different, personal, unique, and beautiful to themselves. And while non-binary people still exist in droves and they them pronoun users still exist in droves, and I'm lucky to be friends with many such people, culturally it feels like there is this shift that has happened, and I can't help but wonder if it is a response to the fear-mongering that we have all been bearing witness to of trans people. I bring it up because I noticed this within myself and my own fears of presenting my gender in a literal non-binary sense. And I say this as somebody who uses she, they pronouns, who still is very aligned with my own non-binary identity. Yet I find myself very fearful of presenting my gender in that way because of how stigmatized it feels like it's become once again. While this is loaded for me in its own ways as a transgender woman, I can't help but wonder if you all have noticed the shift away from the messing of gender binaries that we all seem to be so ready to do just a few years ago.